So yesterday, I'm sure that a number of you were speaking to enterprises, had a great conversation, walked away and thought, I'm not really going to invest in that. So you got your short list of 6 and you went, okay, that one's off. I wonder how many of you told the enterprise that you'd done that and explained to them what it was about their entity and whatever part of it was that made you mentally go, I don't think I'm going to put my money with you. I think what we find with social entrepreneurs is people are so inspired by what they or you are doing that there is not a lot of constructive feedback, because people go, you're amazing, what you're doing is amazing, and I'm so proud of you, and it's great to know you, and I want to support you and encourage you, but don't often say, you're overpriced, you're underpriced, you haven't thought about your business model, the amount you're asking for is not, you haven't got good governance in, I'm not sure you're thinking about risk, all those kinds of things, because we don't want to put a bummer on the whole thing of people who are doing amazing work. So the challenge for you all today is to please make some time to go back to the enterprises that you spoke to yesterday and have an honest but constructive conversation as to what it was that crossed them off the list. And say it nicely, no punch-ups, that kind of stuff. But we really want you to help enterprises develop, because we're talking a lot about investment readiness and things like that, but unless we're honest with each other, we won't be able to fix the things that need fixing. And we've heard a lot of people saying yesterday at the end of the day, a couple of things. One is, where are all the investors? I don't feel like I've talked to an investor yet. Well, you have, but they've walked away. So what you haven't got is an investment, which is different from not having talked to an investor. So you did, but you just didn't know it. And you weren't able to capture them for the next conversation. So why is that? And it's really important to know so that you can, as we said, this is about practicing, so you can get better at it. Because if you can get the feedback, you can fix it and ask for help to fix it and move on and get better. So we want you to all bite the bullet and have those awkward conversations to say, here's why I'm not going to invest in you. And hopefully, if the enterprise can fix that, that conversation can be turned around. But what would be the worst scenario is if people left feeling like, I don't think I talked to an investor, I don't think there was real opportunity in the room, everyone said I was great and not a single person put money into my enterprise, even in a virtual simulated marketplace, and I don't know why. That would be the worst outcome. So let's see if over the course of today, in the nicest possible way, that we can turn that around and give people some really good, robust feedback and ideas on how they can improve their investment readiness. Is that okay? You comfortable to do that? Entrepreneurs, are you comfortable to hear that? Thanks, Mikey. Go for it. All right. So we're going to have another... Yes, Anthony.
Sandy, it seems to me there's 2 types of feedback. There's feedback about the offer.
Yep.
Which is about the financials, the readiness. And then there's feedback about the actual enterprise. Now, I find that difficult to balance those 2 things because in this context, we get a glimpse of the idea and not a lot more.
Yep.
And if you're really doing, as an investor, you're doing due diligence on the potential investment, I hope you'd spend more than 1 page in a book and 10 minutes walking around a room.
You absolutely would.
To understand the idea. So
yeah.
Have you got some advice on how we make sure that we can give some constructive feedback about the idea as well as about their investment readiness?
So we're thinking about this marketplace, as we've said, as a practice environment over 2 days where you can have ongoing conversations with people that do have money to lend and money to invest and things like that. Most of the people in the room actually could play that role should they choose to. But we also get that it's a practice environment, it's not real. So there isn't enough time to do the due diligence that you would do. But what this should be able to give you is enough time with people over the 2 days to see who you'd like to talk to some more in the real world. So it may be that relationships have been formed that people will then go on and pursue. So what we're trying to do is just short-circuit that with the feedback today. And so maybe it's not, why would I invest in you in the real world, or I wouldn't after just this short snapshot. Why did I shortlist you but not invest in you with my $10,000? But also, why would I maybe not rush to come back and have a deeper conversation with you in future? These are the kind of things I'd need you to be thinking about so that we could re-engage in the real world. So we get that it's a simulated environment and it's very shortened, but there is that gut feel. And we'll probably hear today if you're doing venture capital, for example, I've heard the run of it is that you look at 100 proposals, you'll bin 80 straight off the bat, you'll look at 20, you'll maybe bring that back to 10 after some first round of due diligence, and you probably end up with 2 successful entities. So there's that there is a culling process. Some of that needs a huge amount of due diligence, and some of that you can just look at a page, have a conversation and go, I don't think this is in place. So I could be completely wrong, but I think there is people who do it every day for a living are able to, in a short period of time, know that there are certain things that are completely not ready. So I think even though it's a short period of time, we still can be giving feedback, which I'd like us to do. But I understand it's a constructed environment. So give the feedback inside that, the limitations of that construction, that we don't know each other well, but my first impressions are. And look, entrepreneurs, you can take that as you will. If that's useful to you, fantastic. If you think the person doesn't understand, challenge it and have a conversation. But the point is, have the conversation. Because if people walk away going, you're fantastic, but I'm taking my money elsewhere, that's just not helpful, and you can't do anything with that. So we're hoping that there's that opportunity for that feedback loop today.